When we first come to our bank's homepage, it says Welcome to Citibank. We know which bank we're at. We can tell that we're on the menu page because the menu button is slightly offset lower than the other buttons being checkings, savings, cards, bills and transfers, and loans. We can also report a lost or stolen card, find a bank or ATM, open an account, go to the Learning Center, read reviews, and look at the annual report. The Learning Center may have financial workshops that we're interested in. We may want to read reviews to see if this bank is right for us if we haven't yet decided that, and look at the annual report from the bank. We can also search the bank website. If there's any pertinent information on the site that we want to find directly, we can use the search tool. On the bottom left-hand corner, we can also contact the bank using the Contact Us button. If we click on our checkings account, it takes us directly to the login page. We have to be able to log in and give a password before we can access that information. So we log in, we type in our password, and we click go. Once we log in, you can see that under our checkings button, savings button, cards, and loans button, respectively, we can see the balances for each of the accounts and how much is available and how much we owe in our loans. Next, if we click on the checkings button, if we click on the text size button, we can adjust the text size to a size that is most readable for us and that we're most comfortable with as we navigate the site. Once we make our decision, we click Save, and now we can go to our checkings account information by clicking the checkings button on the top of the screen. It shows us our last cleared checks, and it also gives us the option to order more checks here. We can see our recent transactions shown by most recent date first. We can search if we know the amount. We can search by date, we can search by amount, and we can search by transaction, by where we made the check out to. If we click on our savings tab, we see a similar table. It shows us our last deposits and our last withdrawals, and these are sorted by day automatically. We can also use the search tool. If we click on the card button, it shows us our credit or debit card, our credit score. We can apply for a new card here. Also, both of our cards are shown and they're color-coded. So our transactions are color-coded by card. Again, we can search transactions if we have a specific transaction we're looking for. For example, if we were going to find our last Starbucks transaction, we could click STA. It would show us Starbucks and which cards we used on which days for which amounts. If we wanted to pay a bill or make a transfer, we could click where we wanted to pay a bill from our checkings account. We want to pay a bill or a loan, so we click that button. It confirms with us from checkings to upcoming bill. We click yes. And we continue to this page, which it reminds us how much we have in our checkings account, even though we can see this above underneath the checkings button. We have a list of bills, when they're due and for what amounts. So we click that we want to pay a lifetime fitness bill with our checkings account. It confirms with us, is this correct? We click yes. And we can see the money moving from our checkings account to Lifetime Fitness. And underneath our checkings account button on top, our amount has changed from $340.50 to $290.50. If we have a question that we don't think is answered by clicking on the various buttons on the screen or clicking the menu button, we can click the I have a question button. The questions are, what are my upcoming bills? Where is my nearest bank? How do I transfer funds? What is my account balance? And how can I contact my bank? These questions can be answered in various ways other than clicking the I have a question button, but they're also available in this format. If we click what are my upcoming bills, we can see our list of upcoming bills and which day they're due and for what amount. We can also search if we have a specific bill that we want to be paid. If we click where is my nearest bank, it shows us where our nearest bank is, and it gives us the phone number and a picture of the bank. We can get directions, and this takes us to the Google Maps page. So It shows us a Google Maps. It gives us the directions of how to get to the bank most quickly. And we can click the back button to get back to the address of the bank as well. And we could click the I have a question button to navigate back to the questions page, or the menu button as well. So there are various ways that we can navigate back to the page that we're looking for. We're back to the I have a question page. We ask, how do I transfer funds? It clicks us to the bills and transfers page so that we can transfer funds from whatever accounts to desired accounts. This case, credit card or debit card to a different account. We confirm with it, yes, we would like to continue. It asks us which card we want to use and shows us a picture of the card so that we know exactly which card we're choosing. Next, it also shows us the amount available, the limit, and the score on that specific card. We enter the recipient account number and the amount we would wish to transfer. We click Next. It confirms with us how much we're going to transfer from which card to which account. We click Yes. And we can see our money moving from our debit card directly to that person's account. It tells us our transaction is complete. The amount underneath our card button on the top of the screen changes from 1,000 to 700, which is our new amount that's available on our card. And then it gives us this page. It gives us these options. What would we like to do? Go to the main menu, which we could also do by clicking the menu button, or the I have a question, which we could also do by clicking the I have a question button on the top right hand corner of the screen. We can also click I want to contact my bank, which we can also do if we click the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and it gives us the option to log out. Again, that option is also always on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. We click I have a question. We click I want to contact my bank. If we want to contact the bank, we can contact them by phone. It gives us a number by instant message. We can click here to open the messenger. And here we can see that we're talking to a live banker. We can see what we've said so far. We can see when the banker is typing, and then we can type and click send. We can also go back to I want to contact my bank. We have the option to do video relay. Here it tells us when we're connected and when we're not connected. It shows us who we're talking to, and it shows us a picture of ourselves as well to know that we are being heard correctly and being seen correctly. If we go back to this contact page, and we can click I have a question, and we can show our bills and transfers here. Even if we want to transfer from one of our accounts to another account that's also ours, we can do that. So in this example, savings to checking, it asks us to confirm, and we click yes. Then it tells us from our savings account, it tells us exactly how much we have in each of the accounts we're transferring from and to. There are accounts. It says we want to transfer with which amount. We click yes, $100. Not only does it tell us how much we're going to transfer, but it tells us how much money we would have in each account if we complete the transaction, right? So in this case, if we transfer $100, we'll have $19.33 in our savings account and $390.50 in our checkings account after the transaction. We click, is this correct? We click yes. And then we can see the money moving directly from our savings account to our checking account. Tells us our transaction is complete, and the money changes underneath our checking account and savings account to show that a new amount is available. If we click loans, it shows us our upcoming loans. It shows us our credit score. We have the option to make a loan payment or apply for a new loan. And then again, we can, using this table, we can search loans, or we can search by date or by amount. And it shows us all of these. If we click log off, we're able to do so. It tells us we've successfully logged off, confirming with us. If we wanted to log in again, we could click the top right hand corner. If we forget our password, it takes us to, we have to fill in our name, our birth date, and the last four numbers of any of our cards. We type in a new password, we confirm this password, and we click login. It takes us directly to the menu page, of course. If we click settings, we want to change some of our information. We can change our name, we can change our address, We can change our password here, and we can also change the default text size. Once we log in, we'll have a default text size. Finally, if we log off for good, we're done on the bank. It tells us we've successfully logged off, and now we can navigate away from this page.